Hello there, Eagles fans, and welcome back to our Eagles Therapy Podcast. My name is Basil.
And I'm Baz.
And we are recording Sunday, January 7th, 2023. Only a matter of minutes after the Giants defeated the Eagles 27-10 in the last game of the season at the worst stadium in NFL history. I'm just going to preface this with this, Dad, real quick.
Sure.
In 1964, for a little history lesson for you fans out there, in 1964, the Philadelphia Phillies were basically mailed in as the National League pennant winners and were expected to play in the World Series with 12 games left in the season. You know, the Phillies, front office and back office or whatever you want to say, they were already accepting applications for World Series tickets. They needed to win one series of their last three, or at least 2 games of the next 10, to go to the World Series and represent the National League. They lost 10 straight, and because there were no playoffs back then, they fell to second place, and the St. Louis Cardinals went to the World Series in their place. This is infamously called, or famously called, the Philly Fold as in P-H-O-L-D, the Philly Fold, and is widely considered as one of the most notable collapses in sports history. This is worse than that, the Philadelphia Eagles of 2023. This is far worse. And I know I'm biased in saying that because I truthfully don't care too much about baseball. And 1960s baseball, there was no playoffs. How can you even count it as actual sports? But that's a whole other topic for another day. This is worse than that, Dad. 10-1, finishing 11-6. Embarrassing fashion every game. The rest of the season, every game we lost or won in the last, 7 weeks of the season. 6 weeks of the season was an embarrassing way. Even when we won, It was like, oh, this is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Every loss was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Internal and total collapse.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, those 2 games that we played against good teams was tough. Then we lost to that Seattle game, and that was just a 92-yard drive, which you kind of held out hope to pull that one off. But back then you could see the cracks.
Yeah.
You could see the cracks. We knew. Then, of course, when we barely beat the Giants, and that was with 2 different quarterbacks, which was the same story today. And then, of course, epic meltdown against the Cardinals. And then today was just a total embarrassment. I mean, it would have been better if I was playing quarterback because no one – we were talking about it. Should we have played the players? Should we have not played? And it didn't matter. We played them, and they looked like they weren't even playing. It was awful.
Yeah.
Mariota had a little bit here, a little bit there, a couple this and that. But, once A.J. fumbled again at the 30-yard line, whatever that was, it seemed like a pretty decent drive. But, I mean, even so, it's funny. After the first drive we had the ball, we went 3 and out. And I heard the announcer say something about, Sirianni was hoping for a kind of a quick start. Well, that was not it. And I kind of looked at you and went – we want a quick start for the last month. We've had a few early drives, but a team like this, you got to score early. You got to have the right play, and they just didn't have the right plays. It was they had some big runs, and the next series they got a first down. They go to the quarter, and then they throw it 3 times.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah, dug themselves a hole early, impossible to come out of. There's no words to describe this game. There's no words to describe this season. And that's the most incredible thing that we talked about. And I called my uncle during the game, and we were talking to him on the speakerphone. And we were talking about, this season, I can't even call it, it's definitely, this is the worst season ever. It's not. We're not 4-12.
Right.
We've been that before. We're not 8-9. We're not 7-9. It's not, but there's something else to it. It's just there's no description.
Yeah,
there's no description for it. Collapse, embarrassing, but otherworldly.
You can't even point a finger though. Like you can't even point. You can't normally be able to go. Okay, this is the problem. That's the problem. It's all the problem. The only good thing we have going is our punter has been doing pretty well.
Braden Mann, MVP.
I mean, that is about the only thing I can think of because the rest of the defense was. I mean, we had him on a run a few times, and then he just flings a pass, and the guy's open 40 yards downfield.
Yeah.
And that was not once. That was not twice. That was like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
So
the cracks, like you mentioned, they're there. The holes are glaring. Obviously, the big one that I've pointed out every week on this podcast James Bradbury is somehow still playing. Funny enough, he had a great play to cause an interception today, and you're like, that's hilarious. Yeah. But, again, he's getting targeted down the field.
Yeah.
By a tight end, towards a tight end. Not, they're going with their slowest player at him.
It's just amazing.
And then there's the Kevin Byard doesn't know how to tackle. Keely Ringo, who's had a promising season, and we're still looking forward to a couple plays here and there, but he also still has a hard time tackling. Eli Ricks, he got hurt at one point. Hopefully he's okay. Yeah. But he also has a tough time tackling. Reed Blankenship, maybe it's starting to become more glaring and obvious that he's young, right? Because he's been terrible for 5 or 6 weeks. Horrible, I should say. Not bad. No, horrible.
He went out injured.
He went out hurt at one point.
With a groin, yeah.
Sidney Brown went out hurt on the first. We'll talk about all that stuff, but no upside.
Yeah. Well, one thing about the Sidney Brown thing, like you said, that was kind of a phantom injury too. I didn't see him tweak anything. I saw him trying to arm tackle a guy on a punt, and then
when they went to commercial,
next thing you know, he's
limping and stuff. But I just have to say, we've sat up here for we've sat up here for 18 weeks, of course, doing the podcast, but we've sat up here for about 4 or 5 weeks in defending Nick Sirianni. We've come to this table, we've pressed record, we've pressed, record on our little Audible thing here, and or Audacity, sorry, and we put on our clown makeup, and we said Nick Sirianni, we defended him, he can't be fired, We sat here and said that with confidence. Everyone has to be fired. And this game proves that. Now, last week, everyone was calling, like, does Nick need to be fired? I don't know.
Can't fire the coach.
This one now, absolutely he does. We can't retain any of these coaches coming back next year. I'm talking none of them. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Jeff Stoutland, you can bring back.
I just don't know what you've got. I mean, where do you go from here? Yeah, we have a playoff game next week. Great. Hopefully it's not on Saturday, but we got a playoff game next week. We're playing the Bucks, who we saw to the game.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
But I mean, there's I don't know what can you
no upside.
You keep saying work it out. We'll shake it, flip the switch. There's no switch. There's no flipping.
No.
It's just it's bottom feeder. I don't see any way up at all.
And my next thing is AJ Brown. It's the icing on the cake. We come out and we're down 3-0. I think it was our second offensive drive. We're kind of driving, not incredibly, but we're driving. And he throws a slant to AJ Brown and fumbles the ball, gets the ball punched out and then gets hurt. Of course.
Right.
And has to leave the game. And it felt from that moment on, you were kind of like, it's just funny. Not funny, but this whole week has been about, AJ's press conference and the team, he led a players only meeting and they've talked about we need to buy into this, we need to believe in each other. And it made Eagles fans kind of go, they could turn it around again, put on our clown makeup every week and they could turn
a shot.
So it's just funny because this whole week it's all about AJ Brown, his press conference, this and that, and then in the first quarter he gets hurt and fumbles the ball, and it's just the icing on the cake. It's like what, like if you believe in God, God is telling you something, and He's telling you it is not your year.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen. It was never meant to happen. You got lucky. You're welcome for the 11 wins. Yeah. Take it and say thank you.
Yeah. Well, the thing about, once AJ went down, you and I looked at each other and just said, "There's no scream, just get everybody out the field. Everybody off the field." And of course, again, it's the field. We talked about the Meadowlands, which I thought it was an old stadium, but it built in 2010. And Sidney Brown gets hurt on the first punt.
Yeah. Even Giants players
were dropping like flies. Waller went down. The quarterback rotation was in and out. Tommy DeVito. Then you got
3 different times they almost lost their quarterback.
It's just it was just awful.
It's just
no upside, none at all.
None at all. And you brought up Rashad Penny for this game, and he gave you 6 carries for 16 yards.
I was going to say, Gainwell looked good.
Gainwell looked great.
The few 7 times he carried it for 60 yards, but we lost him again. I don't know where he went, but and then we went for that first down inside our own 40.
Yeah, it was the 4th down on our own 41, and we get the first down before the end of the first quarter. I tweeted it because I was just so mad and so dumbfounded. Kenny Gainwell gains 12 yards to get a first down, and then we go into the end of the first quarter. It's like, okay, we ran it, got 12 yards. That's awesome. First down. We throw the ball. Horrible incomplete pass.
Yeah.
We throw the ball to Quez deep, who, of course, can't catch it.
Nothing happens there.
Can't get there.
Bad luck.
We then have a false start on Dallas Goedert, so it's 3rd and 15. Throw the ball to Quez, behind the sticks, so obviously it's 4th down. And then 4th and 2, we throw it. And, Jalen gets hit, breaks his finger. I know he didn't really, but,
yeah.
I told you, I saw the moment it happened. I told you, I was like, he's dislocated his finger.
You could see it.
He just dislocated his finger.
Yeah.
And, it falls short of Dallas Goedert, who a lot of people probably were saying this should have been pass interference. But
no,
Jalen was hit, so it doesn't count.
Yep.
And, we didn't run the ball 4 straight plays there.
Yeah.
1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, 4th down. We didn't run the ball once. Now, I know on 3rd and 15, you can't run the ball. And
right.
On 4th and 2, you're probably not going to run the
ball.
But
that 1st down play, we looked at it.
Yeah.
It was a throwaway play. It was one of those plays you just go, let's throw something to the wall and see if it sticks. Because he threw the ball 10 yards out of bounds, and nobody was open. It wasn't even a real play. It was just – and the thing, once they get Jalen out of the pocket, you might as well take a knee because it's just
if Jalen
we have a few plays in his career where the Zacchaeus touchdown is the one.
Yeah, if he runs out of the pocket, you might just tell him, all right, tuck it and run.
Just get out of bounds.
If you can't throw it when the pocket's there, just run now because you're not completing the pass. You're not completing the pass.
We don't know how to do this drill.
It is alarming how bad this team is at the
scramble drill.
I mean, really everything, but at the scramble drill. The pocket breaks down.
Yeah.
When a quarterback runs out of the pocket, they scramble. They run a different route. They help their quarterback out. Our wide receivers, I don't know if they're not doing it or if Hurts just can't see the field that much.
It's either that or the Giants had like 13 players on the field because they were blitzing four extra guys and still nobody open.
Yeah.
The middle of the field, I don't know. Is it open? I don't know. I can't tell. But, I mean, they had more guys than we had linemen every play, and we couldn't do anything. It was just – I don't know what Sirianni saw when he said, it's 4th and 2 on our own side of the 50. I think we have a good shot at making this first down.
So here's the thing. I agree with the criticism of that call, but I also have to go against you and say, at this point, short field or not, our defense will not stop anybody. You said it during the game. The top 20 teams in college football right now could probably score a touchdown on us 90 times out of 100.
They have guys wide open. I'm just telling you, they would. They move faster.
At this point, I agree in the sense of that's a horrible play call. Why are you going for it on our side of the field? But also, why punt ever again? Our defense isn't going to do anything.
Yeah, even when we drove the one time we punted, Mariota took a 5-yard penalty for delay of game. And I'm like, okay, this is where you have to score if we wanted to get in this game
at all.
It didn't look like anybody wanted to play. It's just, Hassan Reddick did, a few other guys. Tuli Peloto had a good couple plays, but other than that, they were running all over us again. They gashed us for over 100. I don't know what they finished with, but
I don't know. I don't care.
It was just, it was just bad. It's just, statistics, whatever. It didn't matter. Good luck next week. We'll be here. We'll be with our shirts and hats on and screaming like idiots and losing
our clown makeup on. Yep.
But I don't, have much faith in the fact that they can actually do anything next week. No. Of all the teams in the playoffs, this is the one team I think they can beat. I know you're talking about the Packers. I think the Packers are great. Their passing game is phenomenal.
Yeah. But some injuries that happened in the game, notable again. We played on the worst stadium in NFL history. From now on, I think you just forfeit the game.
Yeah.
Don't go to MetLife. Every team ever.
Yeah.
The Jets and the Giants are going to have 8 free wins to play at their own stadium, but you can't play there again. I really. We lost A.J. Brown. Jalen Hurts, of course, got hurt. That didn't have to do with the field. Nolan Smith got hurt. Sidney Brown got hurt. Cam Jurgens got hurt. That was with an eye thing. Reed Blankenship got hurt. So that's 6 injuries that I can remember. And I was writing this thing up by the end of the third quarter, and I didn't really notice anybody else got hurt, but they might have, and I didn't know.
Blankenship, I mentioned him. Groin, that's from the field.
So 6 guys got hurt.
They had a bunch.
It's hard because we sat up here and we're like, oh, you got to play them because they need practice. And we were right. They do.
It was worse.
But also, there's then the other side of it. Yeah. Now AJ's hurt.
Yeah.
And Devontae Smith was already hurt. DeAndre Swift didn't even, they weren't even dressed. Good thing is they got some rest, I guess.
Well, at least we got a good notes on Rashad Penny.
Yeah.
He's gone. We're not going to retain him for sure. Boston Scott barely got the ball this year, which is another bummer.
Don't understand. Don't understand at all.
Yeah, it's just Gainwell's still player, so we're happy about him.
Plays well every once in a while.
Tight ends were good, made some good plays. Calcaterra stole, blocking, and stuff like that. Goddard.
Yep.
But, this team needs a lot. And, I tell you, the smoke and mirrors that they had this year, like I say, we know there was really not any games that we were comfortable with a lead. Yeah. I mean, a couple really early games. That's it.
We were more comfortable with trailing at one point when we were losing to Dallas going into the half. Remember that time of the year we were losing to Washington going into the half. We were losing to Dallas going into the half. We were losing to the Chiefs going into the half.
Right.
We were losing to Buffalo going into the half. And every single that's all of them. And we won all those games. Right. It was like, it's better to be going into the half losing. Yeah. And almost like we were going into the half 24-0, and I was like, well, this is honestly better than going into the half with a lead. Yeah. Because we knew if we were going into the half with a lead, we'd blow it.
Yeah. Well, it sucks because, the Giants, all their points were in the first half, 24-0.
So, no, they got
a field goal late in the game.
Hey, we outscored them in the second half, like you said.
But they just, there was just nothing to look. 24-0, even well before halftime. Yeah. But it just, once it started, it snowballed. And we'll see what happened next week.
Speaking of next week, obviously
I don't know.
We're going back to Tampa. We played there earlier this year. Going back to Tampa, hopefully not Saturday. I really hate the Saturday games, but hopefully not Saturday. As an Eagles fan, it's a bummer to say this, but expect a one and done. I can't get excited. I can't be. There's no. We could no. There's no. We can no. We can't.
The only
we can't
way
do anything.
Any side if they were to score like 42 points, which is not going to happen. And
no.
They've gone against everything they should have gone for. They should be running the ball when they don't. They throw the ball when they shouldn't. And it's just bad. It's a shame. And Hurts is not taking a step back. He's taking a whole staircase back. And in my opinion, he's just not. He's not anywhere close to where he was last year. It might be mental, might be physical, but enough blame and injuries for all the different players, and it's not that.
Has to do with injuries. This is a terrible.
You can't get open for a short pass on 4th and 2. We can't even throw a quick pass play. It's just abysmal. Offensive coordinator's got to go. He was out there today.
His staff has to go.
It's bad. Patricia's hopefully gone.
There's no way Jeffrey Lurie can look at this coaching staff after these last 6 games and go, okay, we'll go into this next season. No, we have to fire everyone.
And it's so funny.
We have to fire Nick, who I love as a coach, but we have to. There's no option, or else sell the team. There's no option. We have to have new coaches all around next year.
To see Eric Bieniemy come out and be our head coach, but
that would be nice, wouldn't it?
With somebody, an offense coordinator, genius mind. We still got defense to fix up, but Matt Patricia, Sean Desai fell on the sword there, but
isn't that funny?
Oh, Patricia was 10 times worse. 10 times worse.
When they demoted Sean Desai,
oh my goodness,
everyone kind of was like,
here we go.
He's the scapegoat. And it kind of looked like it ruined his career as a coach. Like it looked like it would impact his career. It set him back a bit. Right. But now it's funny. It makes him
a head coaching job.
He looks as good as a defensive coordinator as anybody because Matt Patricia, a former Super Bowl winning defensive coordinator, he's taken this team. This defense into oblivion.
Down the rabbit hole.
I could have never saw it. We could have seen this as of 6 weeks ago, but beginning of the season, the defense was the saving grace of this team when the offense was not putting up points. Yeah. Now it's the opposite, and actually it's not even the opposite because now the offense can't do anything either. I expect a one and done in Tampa Bay. Unfortunately.
I know there are those that are saying, well, maybe they played. They're waiting for the play.
No, stop.
It's impossible to think that. How could you even think that? Yeah,
that's pathetic thinking.
No way.
That's pathetic thinking.
Yeah, it's tough. That was a tough one. This is a tough. 2 last games have just been tough to hold.
Yeah,
really tough. So
tough season.
Go Birds.
Just funny because I know. Just funny because it's hard. Like I said, I can't say oh, this is the worst season of all time. It's
No,
not.
it's
not. But it's
But
the most emotionally draining for me ever, at least I should
19
say.
years that an NFC East opponent been different. We had
That's great.
we had that line set up, baby, and we let it go.
That's pretty pathetic.
That's really bad.
I mean, this is 2 weeks in a row they came out and
With a shot.
just with no passion. I've said it too many times on here. I can't even keep saying it. No fire, no passion, no care in the world, no desire to win, no trust in the coaches, no trust in each other, no belief in the system, no belief in the process, nothing.
I don't even know if they have a direction. It's just that weird. I've never seen that happen before.
I know. Yeah.
But here we are.
I've never seen a team going into the playoffs with so many problems. That's the incredible part about it. With so many issues across the board. Like we said, you can't point a finger. Oh, it's his fault. It's that fault. The offense. It's the defense. No, there's so many holes and gaps and issues and cracks in the system. You just kind of have to blow it. You have to blow it up almost. I mean, you have to fire the whole coaching staff. You might have to start talking to Howie Roseman about having a 1-year leash on him.
Right.
You know, for this team that he creates.
Yeah.
You know, you have to start talking about Jalen. You have to start, you know, and then the bummer is now we have to rebuild our offensive line. You know, we're losing Kelsey after next week's Kelsey's last game
for sure
in NFL. You know,
that is, for sure.
Might even be Lane. I don't think he'll retire, but it could be. You know, you got Cam.
There's a few others too. Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox.
Oh, they're done. Yeah, they're retired.
You know,
if they don't retire, they might play somewhere else. But they
I don't think so.
They won't.
They're in their 30s, 35.
But yeah, we'll see you guys in Tampa next week. We didn't go to not going to Tampa, of course, but we didn't go to the bar this week. We needed a break. So for all those who are watching that are from the bar, we couldn't go. We needed a break physically just from if you've met us or if you want to know about us. I mean, I guess the podcast tells you enough. We're probably two of the most passionate fans you'll ever meet in your life. And it shows when we watch the game. So it's not fun watching a game with us. It's not easy, at least I should say. It's fun, but
it's fun.
It's not easy watching a game with us because when it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's bad.
And if they call some bad plays, you're going to hear from us because we don't go, oh well, you know, they're trying to set up third down rush. No. We keep it clean on the air here, but we're not so clean at the bar.
Absolutely,
we try. We do our best.
So. Yeah, next week we'll be back at the bar. We just need a break, but we'll be back there. So, yeah, Frankie's, Powers, and Galley here in Colorado Springs. Come on down if you're an Eagles fan. If you're not an Eagles fan, that's the other thing I get close to sometimes. Thankfully, I don't drink. I don't drink when I watch the football games, which is a good thing because I would probably be a fighter, and I don't ever want to do anything like that. That's how angry I get, but that's why I don't drink.
That's good.
Dad, you got anything else on this?
Not really, no.
Good thing I mean, the only thing that we can say really is Tampa Bay looked almost as bad as us.
Yeah, they looked
awful. They looked terrible. That whole game was horrible.
Baker looked bad. The running game was nowhere. They almost lost to Carolina.
He was getting destroyed.
They should have been down, but they fumbled in the end zone, which was another boneheaded play by a boneheaded player team.
I can't believe players still can fumble into the end zone. And I'm not saying the rule is stupid. I think it's a fine rule.
Great rule.
I just can't believe people still I can't believe it still happens. It blows my mind. It blows my mind.
It took him from being up 7-0 to end up losing the game 9-0. So we watched the Tampa Bay game. They looked awful.
The only good thing we can look forward to is hey, they look just as bad as
we're not going to jinx ourselves. So Tampa Bay's great. We're a wonderful team.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Well, anything else you got, Dad?
No, I don't have anything.
Right.
We did hit 90 subscribers, which is
yay.
Nice. We're pushing for 100, so keep it up.
All right. Rate and subscribe. Like and subscribe. I don't care. I can't right now. Whatever you want to do. Thank you for watching. Hopefully we get some Giants fans talking smack. I always like that. It gets us more views and everything like that.
He said he texted me already, but you know they're 5-12 or whatever.
Congratulations.
6-11.
All right. Well, from us here at Our Eagles Therapy Podcast, I'm Basil.
I'm Baz.
Go Birds.
Fly, Eagles, fly.